No bag out.
I've had times in my life where I've thought too much about regrets and stuff in my life, right? I know we've talked about that some in the past, like looking in the past too much, right? Or attaching myself to the past.
Pagaidu, pagrozies, pēdi malā.
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Oh well, it was nice while it lasted, right?
Sure, it was nice while it lasted.
Memories. The one thing you can't really get away from. They can be beautiful, hurtful, confusing, or altogether. The feeling of nostalgia, reminiscing about a more simple time. One that you wish you could relive endlessly because everything was just right. Undoubtedly, you have your own cherished memories as well. Maybe a time when you were younger with no responsibilities and worries, just exploring and enjoying the wonderful world around you. Maybe it was the time spent with people you love, ones with whom you could share the most authentic part of yourself. Or maybe it was neither of those. But whatever the scenario, it still has a very special place in your heart. Back then, it all seemed ordinary, but those are now the good old days. How did we ever take them for granted? Things just don't feel the same anymore, and it's hard to tell if they ever will. For me, it's not one big specific occasion that I remember, but rather how I felt at the time. The thoughts of my daily life back then, with people around me who made it all special. It truly felt like that's it. That's how it was going to be for the rest of my life. Damn, how was I ever so wrong? So naive. I know, life doesn't work that way. Circumstances change and people go their separate ways. Is it all for better or worse? You never really know. There's just so much uncertainty. Moving countries and wondering if you'll ever find the feeling of home again. Losing touch with what felt like your closest friends at the time. Breakups with someone you thought you were going to marry. Loved ones passing away. Reality can be tough. With it also comes the feeling of regret. Trying to understand if I should have done something differently. Something that would have made it all last. I could have done better. Why didn't I? It's all my fault. Lately, I've been drowning in my memories more than usual. I think one big part of it is stagnation and not pursuing things that are meaningful to me. Life can seem pretty dull when you don't really do anything all day. especially when a day like that turns into more than a week. It makes sense that I'll be in my head, revisiting moments from the past, caught in a cycle of thinking what could have been, instead of becoming excited about the future. Another part of it could be all the chaos happening in the world right now. It's easy to get lost in a world that is moving so fast in what seems like such a downward spiral. It's nice to go back and reminisce about a more simple time away from all the stress and worries of today. But be careful not to get lost in your memories as well. It becomes unhealthy if you stay there too long. It should only be for a brief moment to take in hope of how great life can be, instead of the view that the past is an unattainable ideal. That's how you become miserable, unable to enjoy the present moment, which is all we really have. It's also important to acknowledge that things are rarely exactly as we remember them. Oftentimes, a big part of it is our emotions in play, adding bits of imagination to the story. Our minds tend to romanticize the past, constructing an idealized version that may not fully mirror what actually happened. We may ignore the struggles, the uncertainties, and the complexities that were also an integral part of those moments. We somehow leave out the true reality of the situation, exaggerating and leaning too much on either the good or bad side. But okay, I don't want to take anything away from you. It probably still was a truly beautiful period. Look back at those times and take in what you can. The lessons, the joys, the pains, and the growth. Cherish the memories and appreciate all that you have witnessed, not with a longing to go back, but with gratitude for the experiences that shaped you into the person you are today. As you navigate through them, be kind and forgiving to yourself. Life is a journey, and it's completely normal to stumble along the way. It happens to everyone. We're all human. Sometimes when we feel shame or guilt for what we've done in the past, it's because those actions no longer reflect our current values. When we look back at our former selves, we don't relate to their decisions. This is what true progress looks like. I really like to believe that everything happens for a reason, and over time it will all just make sense. Instead of focusing on what could have been, get excited about what still could be. Chances are you're currently living in tomorrow's good old days. Don't let them pass by and make them count. Even if it really doesn't feel that way, you can make life exciting again. Think of all the things you still haven't done, people you haven't met, memories you still haven't made. There are so many beautiful moments ahead of you, so much to look forward to. And the best thing is, you don't have to wait for tomorrow to start experiencing them. Don't let the thoughts of yesterday take anything away from you, and enjoy life one day at a time.